Last video we have completed the first elements. Now let's see about the second element, that is planning activity. Second element of planning is planning activity. Under preliminary engagement activity, we are having 3 points. Under this, we have 2 points. First point is overall audit strategy. Audit strategy. Second point is audit plan. Developing an audit plan. First point is strategy. Second point is plan. Let's see what is meaning of audit strategy. 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 Yes, it is S, T, and D. S stands for scope. T stands for timing, and D stands for direction. D for direction. Strategy means the keywords for strategy is S, T, and D. The actual meaning overall audit strategy sets the scope, timing, and direction of the audit and guides the development of the more detailed plan. With this strategy only, the plan can be formed. Plan is detailed one, strategy is not detailed one. It's just like it gives the scope, timing, and direction. From this, we are going to prepare a detailed plan. Now, what is mean by audit plan means? For that also we have some letters to remember. There we have STD, here we have N, T, and E. N is nature, T for timing, and E for extent. Nature, timing, extent. Nature, timing, extent of further audit procedure and risk assessment procedure. Strategy means STD. Strategy, ST, and D. Scope, timing, and direction. And plan is NTE. Nature, timing, and extent of risk assessment procedures and further assessment procedure. The next topic is benefit of audit strategy. Benefit of audit strategy or scope of audit strategy. Benefit of audit strategy or scope of audit strategy. If the question is related to strategy, the first word that should come to our mind is resources. Benefit of audit strategy or scope of audit strategy, whatever it is, the first word for strategy is resources. What is resources in this context? Context means resources is engagement team members. For the purpose of audit strategy, we're going to do all things related to engagement team members. Thinking about them only, audit strategy is made. So resources here refers to engagement team members. First point is quality of resources. Quality. Second one is quantity of resources. Third one is timing of deployment. Time. Fourth point is management of resources. First point is quality, second point is quantity, and then timing of deployment and management of resources. If we remember this, based on this, we can create the sentence. First point is quality, no? For that, under the quality of resources, the point is we should have experienced team members. Quality is experienced team members should be there. Experienced team members இருக்கணும். எதுக்கு இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னா high risk areasல வர problems அந்த மாதிரி audit பண்றப்போ high risk இருந்துச்சுன்னா அதை டீல் பண்ற அளவுக்கு இருக்கிற experienced members பார்த்து எடுத்துக்கணும். First keyword is experienced team members. Why we need experienced team members அப்படின்னா audit high risk areasல இருக்கிற high risk area auditor டீல் பண்றதுக்கு ஒரு experienced team members வேணும். And then under that second keyword is involvement of experts. expert வேணும். எக்ஸ்பர்ட் எப்பலாம் தேவைப்படுவாங்கன்னா ஒரு காம்ப்ளெக்ஸ் மேட்டர்ஸ் டீல் பண்ணும்போது எக்ஸ்பர்ட்ஸ் வேணும். காம்ப்ளெக்ஸ் மேட்டர்ஸ் டீல் பண்ணும்போது எக்ஸ்பர்ட்ஸ் வேணும். எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்ட் டீம் மெம்பர்ஸ் டு டீல் வித் ஹை ரிஸ்க் ஏரியாஸ் அண்ட் எக்ஸ்பர்ட்ஸ் டு டீல் வித் காம்ப்ளெக்ஸ் மேட்டர்ஸ். இதுதான் குவாலிட்டி ஆஃப் ரிசோர்சஸ். செகண்ட் பாயிண்ட் இஸ் குவான்டிட்டி ஆஃப் ரிசோர்சஸ். குவான்டிட்டினா நம்பர் ஆஃப் மெம்பர்ஸ், எவ்வளவு மெம்பர்ஸ் இருக்கணும் அப்படின்ட்டு நமக்கு தெரியும். நம்பர் ஆஃப் டீம் மெம்பர்ஸ் based on the need. To observe the inventory count of material locations, the extent of review of other auditors work in the case of group audits. Quantity of resources and number of team members. To observe the inventory in case of material locations. மெட்டீரியல் லொகேஷன்ஸ்க்கு போக வேண்டிய ஒரு ஆடிட்டா இருந்துச்சுன்னா அப்போ எத்தனை மெம்பர்ஸ் வேணும் அப்படின்ட்டு நம்ம கரெக்டாக குவான்டிட்டி ஆஃப் டீம் மெம்பர்ஸ் டிசைட் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கணும் ஆடிட் ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜி பண்ணும்போது. நெக்ஸ்ட் குரூப் ஆடிட் பண்ணும்போது டு ரிவ்யூ தி ஒர்க் ஆஃப் அதர் ஆடிட்டர் வி ஷுட் நோ ஹவு மெனி மெம்பர்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஆடிட் டீம் மெம்பர்ஸ் இஸ் நீடட். தேர்ட் பாயிண்ட் இஸ் டைமிங் ஆஃப் deployment. When these resources are to be deployed, such as whether at an interim audit stage or at key cut-off dates. இந்த ஆடிட் வந்து எப்போ இந்த ரிசோர்ஸ்லாம் தேவைப்படுது, இன்ட்ரீம் ஆடிட் ஸ்டேஜ் ஆர் கீ கட் ஆஃப் டேட்ஸ் அப்படின்னா இந்த சென்டர் ஆடிட் பண்ணும்போது பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போதே தேவைப்படுறாங்களா இல்லை எண்ட்ல தேவைப்படுறாங்களா அப்படின்ட்டு டிசைட் பண்ணணும். எப்போலாம் இந்த மெம்பர்ஸ் தேவைப்படுறாங்க, ரிசோர்ஸ்லாம் எப்போ தேவைப்படுறாங்க அப்படின்ட்டு டிசைட் பண்ணணும். பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போதே தேவைப்படுறாங்களா இல்லை எண்ட்ல வந்தா போதுமா? எண்டுக்கு வேர்ட் வந்து கீ கட் ஆஃப் டேட்ஸ். சென்டர் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போதே தேவைப்படுறாங்க அப்படின்னா அதோட பேர் வந்து இன்ட்ரீம். These are the keywords for this point. When these resources are to be deployed, such as whether at an interim stage or at a key cut off dates. Next point வந்து management of resources. After appointing these team members, we have to manage them also. How such resources are managed, directed and supervised, such as when team briefing and debriefing meetings are expected to be held. After appointing the members appoint பண்ணிட்ட அப்புறமா எப்போ மீட்டிங் வைக்கணும், team briefing and debriefing meetingsலாம் எப்போ வைக்கணும் அப்படி டிசைட் பண்ணணும் மீட்டிங். And then how engagement partner manager reviews are expected to take place. மீட்டிங் எப்போ வைக்கணும். Next reviews, how their work of other auditors are going to be reviewed, அதெல்லாம் டிசைட் பண்ணணும். That is the management. Direction, supervision, managed. The team members எப்படி மேனேஜ் பண்ண போறாங்க, எப்போ மீட்டிங் வைக்க போறாங்க, எப்போ அவங்க work review பண்ண போறாங்க அப்படி டிசைட் பண்ணணும். That these are the points of scope or benefit of audit strategy. First when the question is about audit strategy, resources பத்தி நினைக்கணும். ரிசோர்சஸ்னா இந்த கண்டெக்ஸ்ட்ல என்னது, engagement team members தான் resources. First point is quality of resources இருக்கணும். குவாலிட்டி அப்படின்னா எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் டீம் மெம்பர்ஸ் இருக்கணும். ஹை ரிஸ்க் ஏரியாஸ் பார்க்குற அளவுக்கு எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் டீம் மெம்பர்ஸ் இருக்கணும். அதுக்கப்புறமா காம்ப்ளெக்ஸ் மேட்டர்ஸ் டீல் பண்றதுக்கு இன்வால்வ்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்பர்ட்ஸ் இருக்கும். அதுதான் குவாலிட்டி. நெக்ஸ்ட் குவான்டிட்டி, நம்பர் ஆஃப் டீம் மெம்பர்ஸ் கரெக்டாக இருக்காங்களா, இன்வென்ட்ரி மெட்டீரியல் லொகேஷன்ஸ்லாம் போகும்போது கரெக்டான மெம்பர்ஸ் இருக்காங்களா, நம்பர் ஆஃப் மெம்பர்ஸ் பார்க்குறது தான் குவான்டிட்டி. அதுக்கப்புறம் அதுக்கப்புறம் review of other auditors in case of large audits, in case of group audits. அப்போ வந்து number of audits பார்க்கணும், that is quantity. Next point, third point is timing. When these resources are needed, timing of deployment. When these resources, அதாவது எப்போ இந்த engagement team members தேவைப்படுறாங்க, during the audit or end of the audit. During the audit keyword வந்து interim audit. End of the audit எழுதுறதுக்கு பதிலா key cut off dates அப்படின்னு எழுதணும் keywords. Okay. Next fourth point வந்து management of these resources. அந்த resourcesனா யாரு, engagement team members தானே, இவங்களெல்லாம் அப்பாயிண்ட் பண்ணிட்டு அப்புறமா இவங்க மேனேஜ் பண்ணணும். எப்படி மேனேஜ் பண்ணணும், டைரக்ட் பண்றது, சூப்பர்விஷன் பண்றது, நெக்ஸ்ட் இதெல்லாம் மேனேஜ் பண்ணணும். And when the meetings are to be held, meeting review, அதெல்லாம் டிசைட் பண்ணணும். That is known as management. These are the points of scope or benefits of audit strategy. Factors to be considered. Factors to be considered for establishing audit strategy. Establishing audit strategy. What is the meaning of audit strategy? I told it is S, T, and D. Scope, timing, and direction. So based on this, the factors is also derived. First point is going to be characteristics that defines the scope. First heading is characteristics that defines its scope. Second point is going to be related to timing. So it is reporting objective. Second point is reporting objective of the engagement to plan the audit, plan the timing of the audit and nature of communications required. Keyword, remember, is reporting objective. That is related to the timing. Third point is related to the direction. The auditor's professional judgment. Consider the factors that in the auditor's professional judgment are significant in directing the engagement team efforts. Third point is related to direction. How we will write it is engagement team members should follow the direction of auditor's professional judgment. That is the point. Consider the factors that in the auditor's professional judgment are significant in directing the engagement team members. This is the third point. Fourth point is related to preliminary engagement activity. That is helping the construction of establishing the audit strategy. Then fifth point is related to resources. That is, we already read the benefits or scope of audit. No, the same points can be written for this point. That is quality, quantity, timing of resources, and management of resources. What is resources in this context is engagement team members. That point will be the subpoints for this point. First point is characteristics that defines the scope. What all characteristics to be considered while creating characteristics while considering the audit strategy. First point is applicable reporting framework. Reporting framework of the entity. Entity's applicable reporting framework we should get to know. Second point is how many business segments are there, so that the audit can be planned according to that business segments of the entity. Third point is industry specific reporting requirements required by the industry regulators. Any specific industry are there. So first point is applicable reporting framework. Applicable financial reporting framework. Applicable financial reporting framework of the entity. Second point is business segments. Getting to know about the business segments of the entity so that the strategy can be prepared according to that. Third point is industry regulators. Specific industry specific reporting requirements required by industry regulators. Specific reporting requirements of the industry, so that the report will be produced based on that requirements required by the industry regulators. Industry specific reporting requirements required by the industry regulators. That is third point. Next subtopic is reporting objectives. Under that, reporting objectives related to time and nature. So timetable of the entity. Timetable, like when their meetings will be there, when their AGM will be there. After getting to know about that, we can prepare the audit reports based on the timetable of the entity. Like when the report they are expecting the report. அவங்களுக்கு எப்போ ரிப்போர்ட் வேணுமோ அது தெரிஞ்சிட்ட அப்புறமா நம்ம அதுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி டைம் டேபிள் அவங்க என்டிட்டி தெரிஞ்சிட்டு அதுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி ஆடிட் ரிப்போர்ட் ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணுவோம். Second point is this is related to timing. Next we will discuss with the management. About the coming. This is discussion with the management. Third point is discussion with the engagement team members. With ourselves we will discuss. About how many members are there, how we will perform, who is specialized, who will follow whom, like that, everything we will discuss among ourselves. This is engagement team members. Second point is discussion with the management about the communication when they are like how they are expecting audit report should be. Like all those discussions we'll do with the management. So these 3 points under reporting. The entity timetable for reporting, discussion with the management regarding the expected type and timing of reports to be issued, including the audit report, expected nature and timing of communications among engagement team members, including the nature and timing of team meetings and timing of the review of work performed. Next point is professional. Consider the factors that in the auditor's professional judgment are significant in directing the engagement team efforts. Third point is related to direction. Third point is direction. Who will direct the engagement team members? Auditor's professional judgment will direct the engagement team members. Auditor will say, like based on the volume of transactions. If more volume is there, we have volume of transactions there, we have to be dependent to internal control of the entity. We can't be checking everything. We should take some samples. We are dependent on the internal controls of the entity. We can't be independent of those internal. We can't say that we are not believing you. We have to believe this internal control, and we have to make some procedures to check whether it is reliable, and then we have to be relied to this internal control because of the volume of transactions. If it is less, we can check by ourselves every transaction. But when it is more, we can't be checking all the transactions. So we have to check based on take some samples from the internal control and check. This will be told by the auditor's professional judgment. He will say that if you have more volume of transactions, you can rely on this internal control. Second point is, so this point is volume of transactions, which may determine whether it is more efficient for the auditor to rely on internal control. Second point is significant industry developments such as changes in industry regulations and new reporting requirements. If there is change in the industry developments, we have to make reports according to the new requirements. Third point is, first one is volume of transactions. Second one is changes in the industry regulations, industry developments. Based on that, new reporting requirements should be made. Third one is significant changes in the accounting standards. So based on that, financial reporting should be made. First one, changes was there in industry regulations. Here, changes there in accounting standards. Next is relevant changes in the legal environment affecting the entity. Fourth point is changes in the legal environment. Based on the changes, we have to do reporting based on the changes. So first one, under this direction, or based on the auditor's professional judgment, engagement team members are directed. So under this first one is volume of transactions can be dependent on the internal control. Second point is changes in the industry developments, significant changes in industry developments. So based on that, audit report is made. Third point is significant changes in the legal environment. Based on that changes, report is made. And then fourth point is significant changes in the accounting standards. So based on the changes, report is made. These are the keywords. Next point is related to preliminary engagement activity. Considering the results of, we know, like preliminary engagement activities, that is acceptance and continuance of client relationship, ethical requirements of legal compliance with ethical requirements including independence, all those things, preliminary engagement activities. Considering the results of those preliminary engagement activities and knowledge gained from similar engagements, good sound strategy is made. Preliminary engagement activity. Based on the results of this, a sound strategy is made. Sound audit strategy is made. Results of previous audit that involve evaluating the operating effectiveness of internal control, the manner in which the auditor emphasized to engage team members to maintain a questioning mind to exercise professional skepticism. Engagement team members should have a questioning mind. That this comes in chapter 11, right? Questioning mind to exercise professional skepticism, so that they can gather and evaluate audit evidence. Next, fifth point is related to resources. Ascertain the nature, timing, extent of resources. For this, we can write the points of these benefits of audit strategy. That is quality. Whose resources? Engagement team members. Quality of resources, quantity of resources, timing of deployment, and management of resources. Based on this, we can write for this point. So, what all points are there? This is the topic of factors of establishing audit strategy. So, factors to establish audit strategy. First, whenever audit strategy is there in question paper, first thing you have to think about is S, T, and D. That is scope, timing, and direction. Based on this, we can form the factors now. For scope, characteristics. Under characteristics, 3-4 points we will write. That is applicable financial reporting framework. Characteristics, applicable financial reporting framework. Business segments, applicable financial reporting framework. Business segments. And then industry specific requirements required by industry regulators. All these are characteristics. Under timing, we have entities timetable reporting. Timetable. And then communication with the management and communication with the engagement team members. These are the 3 points to write under the second point. For direction, we have auditor's professional judgment should be followed as direction for the engagement team members. What he will say? He will say about the volume of transaction. If volume of transaction is more, you can be relied on the internal control. And then second point is specific industry changes. All those changes in industry, changes in with changes only 3 points can be derived. The changes in industry, and then changes in accounting standards, changes in legal and regulatory framework. Based on this, our report will be formed. New report will be formed. That is this direction point. And after this, related to preliminary engagement activity, we will write saying that based on the results, we get a good strategy. And then what are the points? Based on these results, we get good strategy. And then engagement team members should have a questioning mind, leading to professional skepticism, so that strong evidence can be formed. This is fourth point. And then fifth point, you can write about the resources, quality, quantity, timing and deployment, timing of deployment and management of resources. These are the factors of audit strategy, factors of establishing the audit strategy.